Sir, stop interrupting the meeting. Stop interrupting us. Agent Vaughn. Did you verify it?
Yep. You're ready.
Okay, we'll start our evening. Welcome to the January 5th Mooresville Town Council meeting, and Happy New Year to you. It's our first meeting of the year. We will start with our Pledge of Allegiance, and then Dustin Stanley will give our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another year. Hopefully, with extra blessings, we ask for, of course, the wisdom as elected officials, but also safety and security for the community as they battle this terrible disease. We ask extra guidance and security for our men and women overseas, protecting us from evil, and our first responders protecting us here at home. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
The first item is to call the meeting to order, so the meeting is now in order. The next item on the agenda, approval of minutes from previous meeting dated December 15th, 2020. Do we have a motion on that?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Go ahead. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. I don't see anything under that agenda item. The next item would be new business, and the first item, A, would be reorganization. This is the part where the council will pick its officers for the coming year. It's done on an annual basis. So I guess we'll start with the president's position. I would like to retain the position. I think we had an historic year last year. That would be my pitch to keep the position, but I would also like to see who else might be interested in taking the position.
I'm not interested in the position at this point. Last year you asked the same question, who's interested, and my comment then was, I want to do whatever this council wants me to do and needs me to do, but I guess I would like to be president.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm still currently chairman of the Redevelopment Commission, and as a conservative, if elected to either position, that's too much power for one person to retain, so I'm not interested in the presidency.
Okay. No, sir? Okay. So I guess the next step for the president would be, do we have a motion from the council?
Move to elect Tom as president of the council.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your hands.
Aye.
That's 4, and I am a no. I'm opposed. So, do I continue with the vice president, or does the new president take it?
You swap the gavel on this.
Okay, So, Mr. President, I will switch positions with you. Just bear with us a moment. We need to switch name plates. And make it first too, correct? I'm pretty sure you don't want to sit with mine in front of you.
Remember what I said, what my mind said?
I don't know if I can reach that over you.
Well, I'm so much taller.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, the drop back is left if I leave for the meeting.
Is that, is your name right?
I took mine.
Now we're back to the reorganization. We will need to fill the position of vice president. Any comments? Is anyone willing to do this?
I am willing to serve as the vice president.
Anyone else?
Move to nominate Dustin Stanley as vice president.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The one thing that I do want to reiterate here is we did have a great year last year. We had a fantastic year. We survived the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm sure that with all 5 of us working together, we'll survive the last, hopefully, half of this pandemic. I think this town is a better place because of all 5 of us. Next item on the agenda is the Redevelopment Commission appointments. The statute does say that the redevelopment board or all appointments serve until they are either reappointed or replaced. I have not had an opportunity to look over the list, and I'm not personally comfortable with making any appointments at this time. Comments from the council?
I also would like some more time to review those.
Okay.
We have a meeting Thursday. We're moving along as we always have the past year, so I think making a change right now would be ill-advised with some of the decisions coming up regarding NICEPAC.
Okay, I think we have a consensus. Do I have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Motion to table, do I have a second?
Second.
Great. Motion to table, all in favor? Aye. Next item on the agenda is the Overton Sb1 Tax Abatement. Again, Overton industry continues to grow in the town of Mooresville. This has been a family-owned, and I think it has changed hands once, but this has been a mainstay in the Mooresville landscape. Mike, I think you can help me out here. This is a 5-axis, does
Sure.
all kinds of stuff.
Mr. President, this is the purchasing of, or no, in the process of purchase a Haas CNC machine. This goes hand in hand with some of the more recent tax abatements we provided them on things relative to jigs and tool and die making. So this again allows them to retain and continue to grow the workforce here in the community. You might note that it's an imminent situation for them, so we certainly hope that the council will expedite its procedures appropriately and allow the company the tax abatement beginning next year, as was determined by the matrix that we use here for Mooresville.
Now, looking at the statement of benefits, the only thing that kind of caught my attention right off the bat, but then at further reading, in the manufacturing equipment costs, that is $220,000. They just put 220. I thought that maybe for $220.
That'd be a real good deal on a Haas machine, let me tell you.
There you go. Tonight would be the approval of a resolution 1. Oh, you gave me the wrong one.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Of resolution 3, 2021. This does provide the information that it is in a redevelopment or revitalization area. It does set a public hearing for January 19th for a declaratory resolution, or for a confirmatory resolution. So Resolution 3, 2021 is the declaratory resolution for personal property, Overton Industries.
Is there a problem with it being out of order as far as the resolution number?
No.
No, I don't think, so long as it's
I had
properly
a-
identified.
She had an old agenda.
I didn't have the new agenda, I'm sorry, so
That's why I
I
just
started
handed it
with
to
them. If you want to, we can, I can backtrack and we can do 1, 2, and 3.
No, as
Okay,
long as there's no problem with it, I don't mind.
okay, then I need a motion to approve Resolution 3, 2021.
I'd make that motion to approve the resolution 3, 2021, excuse me.
You know, I read something where it says that we shouldn't call it 2021 because that gives the 2020 the thought process that it won. So
Yeah.
can we come up with something else?
Okay, resolution 321.
There you go. Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I have to get used to making motions of those.
So far, you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
We have a signature page on this. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, now that I know that.
I did, Jeff. Thank you.
Hold on to it, because you're getting something.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to get back to the order that Diane wanted them in. The next resolution is Resolution 1, 2021, and it is for real property for Creative Foam. Mike, do you want to give us a little
Certainly.
play-by-play on that one?
As part of our ongoing business retention and expansion efforts, and with Creative Foam, which was formerly known as Mount Olive Manufacturing, being in the middle of a substantial growth project where late in 2020, they started a project to create 100 new jobs in the company because of growth in the medical device manufacturing health services industry. We're making a call, and we found out that in addition to the 100 jobs they've been working on, they had some personal property and also the clean room, I think that is the real property. So we're asking you that if you would support a Creative Foam. Olive Oak is still the property owner, and Creative Foam is the lessee of the real property. They'll be making the improvements with the clean room. So So we're processing that real property improvement through them owning that property, which will be a permanent fixture to the building itself. So that's why you see, I think, Creative Foam having the real and personal property improvements that they're requesting. And we also, as an incentive to the company, through the tax abatement matrix, although the company changed hands through the acquisition, we recognized their longevity in Mooresville and Morgan County and used the maximum that we could according to the matrix for the tax abatement request.
Any questions, Mike? If you look at your statement of benefits, yes, it is a great project. Don't get me wrong there as far as the numbers on the real property, but what's fascinating to me is the additional number of employees. That's 20 more jobs in the town of Mooresville, and that is exciting. This is a resolution number 1. The area is declared a economic revitalization area. This also sets the public hearing for our next meeting for the confirmatory resolution. Do I have any comments or questions on this? And I need a motion to either approve or deny resolution 121.
Motion to approve 121.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Great. Motion been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
So Mike, just for the tax purposes, Creative Foam is going to receive the tax bill for the improvements on the location, and then Mount Olive gets the tax bill for the ground.
Yeah, Creative Foam will receive the personal property, and Olive Oak will be the recipient in the sense, and then pass through off the real property value to the lessee.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait a minute. You may not want to leave.
Well, that's all right.
This is when it gets fun and exciting. This is also for Creative Foam. This is for the, I'm assuming, the same project.
Yes.
Or part of the same project. And this is the real property. This is not the brick and mortar. This is what they actually have in their building.
Vice versa, real property is the building.
Right. This is the personal property. This is not the brick and mortar. This is the stuff that they have.
The equipment, right.
Yes. And the equipment itself $487,000?
Yep.
$487,000. This is resolution 221. This would be also declaring that it has been declared an economic revitalization area and setting our public hearing for our confirmatory resolution for our next meeting. Do I have any questions or comments on that?
Is this equipment on hand, or is this equipment to be purchased?
To be purchased.
To be purchased.
As part of what they started last year was a 100-job expansion.
Uh-huh.
And I was out making calls, and they were telling me about some of those. Well, that's so that we don't help you. So it's equipment is, again, one of the things, Councilman, that we experienced last year, I think, as a council was with the COVID pandemic and a lot of the tax abatement stuff, we've been playing catch up. Because even with the pandemic, we've had a number of small businesses growing on personal property acquisition. So we're a lot of times we're catching up to that schedule. But this is new equipment that they're purchasing as part of the project.
Any more questions for Mike?
Impressive.
Any motion to either approve or deny resolution 221?
Make a motion to approve resolution 221.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, please.
No, Mike, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, we're gonna have a lot of this going on this year, guys. It's gonna be a great year for us in Morgan County and Mooresville. Expansions in our industrial base. Gotta find more real estate, so we're gonna need your help with that. Looking forward to an exciting year.
How's traffic gonna be, Mike?
Traffic's gonna be just a piece of cake. All you have to be is patient, stop, shut your eyes, and count to 100.
I'm not saying that there's several elected officials from the county behind you getting ready to throw something at you.
Yeah, I can feel all their eyes on me already. I've seen them this week, let's see, so. Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate your help.
Thank you, Mike.
Next item on the agenda is the appropriation transfer resolution. And what this does is this takes, because we approved our budgets, moved them to this state for approval, put them on Gateway, and then made some changes, which I think this was one of the bright lights of last year. We made some changes in the way we were funding salaries and pensions within our two public safety areas. And if we remember, we moved monies around. We paid off the police cars that were out on lease, 2 different year models, and then we moved that funding from CCD, removed it from CCD, and moved other funds to that. That freed up our dollars. We had to wait till after the first of the year to do these transfers because we told the state we were going to spend it one way, and now this is housekeeping. We're telling the state, nope, we're going to spend it another way. Are there any questions on the resolution for transfer of funds? Are there any comments from the floor? I need a motion to either approve or deny the transfer of appropriations. It's not additional, it's just appropriations.
I make that motion to approve resolution 4-2021. I'm sorry, 4-2021.
We don't want to give it the ego that we know it all at once, right? Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second? Oh, sorry, Greg got it.
You're good. We'll give it to Dustin. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is the department head reports. Do you have any department heads here? Any at all? Any at all?
I just have a couple things. One is just a kind of a housekeeping thing, let you guys know. We did lose one of our communications officers. We have since fulfilled that position. He will start this Friday. We did do a full background check, and he did submit a count application for that position. He was one of our part-timers. And we've also trying to get more part-timers just to fill some other slots. The second one I'm kind of excited about, probably a little bit more excited than what I should be. I'm going to read you an email that I received today. It says, "Dear Kevin, we are pleased to announce that Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation Board of Directors has awarded the Mooresville Police Department of Mooresville, Indiana, the requested 25 Phillips start on-site AEDs and accessories valued at $25,921.15.
AEDs?
Huh?
AEDs?
Mm-hmm.
For 25?
For 25.
Amazing.
We'll have 2 put in our building, one on the first floor, one on the second floor, and then the rest of them will be all in the patrol cars.
That's fantastic.
That is better news than hiring a new
I'm
dispatcher.
excited.
That is fantastic. Now, Kevin, a little history on that. Did you apply for that?
Yes, I found out about Firehouse Subs, and so I just on a whim applied for it. And the only thing I really could apply for it because it's more in Matt's realm. So I said, well, we need AEDs because we only have 3 right now. So as long as that officer's working, you've got that AED accessible. And sometimes they don't get transferred to when they're on days off. Well, now every officer will have an AED in his car.
Does that stay charged in the car then? I mean,
The batteries last a long time.
Okay.
That's probably one of the things I will have to fill later on down is any pads and batteries. I will have to supply those. Other than that, this is the biggest chunk of what those things cost.
Should you have really announced that at the first meeting? Because now you've set the bar pretty high for the rest of the year.
At least for his.
Didn't want to wait?
At least for your department. How's that?
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Thank you, Kevin, for that.
What did you get?
No.
It'd be hard to follow that. That's incredible. Great.
Yeah, Shane, you took his $1 million last meeting, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's seen the roof going on. There's 2 sections on this building left, and that job will be complete. And keeping an eye on them. It looks like they're doing a good job. They're sealing it with torches as they put the shingles down in the cold weather. Guys been pulling in equipment and cleaning and maintaining equipment, as well as cleaning sewers around town. Community crossings bid should be ready to advertise by the end of this month or early next month. And then this is the year that we should advertise for mowing the cemeteries. If the council chooses to do that, I can put together a bid specifics for that and be ready for spring. Should be here anytime.
Can I get a motion for him to proceed with the advertising the bids, please, for the cemetery?
So moved.
That was you, right? That's
Yes.
motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Wait, I do have one question for you. The paperwork, I think, was released today or yesterday on next year's round of community crossings matching grant. I don't know when for sure the census information is released. And I don't know if they're going to go off of that information. If they're going to go off of last year's census or this coming year's. I would like for you to find that information out as far as when is the snapshot? Is the snapshot of the census or of our population when the application is sent in?
I can pay to do that because that's a significant difference on.
Yeah, we wanted everyone to be counted, but it does adversely affect us once we go over the 10,000 person mark. So this may be the season. Oh.
I think the census information is going to be released April,
Okay.
right? Right around that time, right at the end of the session, maybe a little earlier. So, but yeah, you should have it, the state should have it, so then you should get it pretty quickly.
Well, I guess it still bears a question, are they going off the census at the time of the application? So,
I would suspect our census will greatly increase.
decrease?
The numbers.
Increase.
Really
Decrease?
Increase.
The census release.
As long as it didn't go over 9,999.
And 75 cents.
And 75 cents.
That's for real. Virginia Perry said she'd donate a quarter though.
Bless you.
Matt, I'm sorry.
I'm giving Kevin a hard time.
Because he made you look bad?
No, because they asked me to teach CPR in the next couple of months. Now I know why. I gave you guys our run stats for the year. We had 114 EMS calls, 14 fire calls, 37 other calls. For the total year was 1840. There's no questions on that. I'll move forward. I did start in, I got with our attorney. I did find some, you guys asked me the last meeting to start looking at some of our possible pricing for our trucks. I did send that stuff to you, correct? You did receive it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
The best that I'm getting, the engine 13, which is a 90, I'm sorry, the engine 14, which is a 95, which is refurbed 2002. With some of the sites that I looked at govdeals.com, municipality bids, and then some used fire truck bids, and we're looking around $5,000 roughly ballpark. Now that's going through a broker, so I'm sure there's a little bit of fluctuation on trying to get some money back from them also. The squad, I know I talked with Superintendent Dave Moore. I know they're interested in that. again, with those sites, we're looking anywhere about 35 to 40,000, with that being on that market there. The pickup truck, we Kelly Blue looked at that one, even with the floor, or the hole in the floor, we're looking around $2,000 roughly. And then if we decide to sell the 93 engines, since it's kind of getting up there to 27 years of age, again, with all that, we're looking around $10,000 ballpark. Like I said, those were kind of off the municipality bids and then the used vehicle bids going through a broker. So I've got some ideas. I'm willing to talk with the attorney if so, to kind of maybe see if we can do a closed bid process, advertising it, and just basically trying to figure out where we want to, bottom line dollar, what we want to take for trucks.
Why is the 93 engine double what the 95 were? If it was refurbed in 02?
Because of the OSHA and the NFPA, it's got that open tab in the back, so.
The 95 was?
The 85. The
Okay,
80
it's 85, not
The
95.
85.
Yeah, I got you. So you said 85, sorry. That makes sense.
Other questions? So,
Do you think Kevin could use the fire truck in his department? They'll take cross-train in Whitestown?
They do? They do.
What do you think?
We'll hold off. Why you got now?
That's why we got that. Okay, thank you. Was there any questions for him? Any other department heads? Oh, legal counsel.
I have nothing to bring to you right now.
Other comments from the floor? Need a motion for the approval of payment of claims?
Make a motion, we approve claims in the amount of $675,492.40.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah. Motion made and seconded. One thing, does it seem like the bills have gone up since Greg started?
Yes.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. He pulls that every time. It never gets old.
I was going to blame the traffic on the new president. I was good then.
There you go, there you go. It was never that bad. We didn't close east and west, north and south, right? Comments from the council?
I do have a few, if you'll indulge me. One, over the weekend, there was a claim from a local party chairman that I hadn't made my donations to the town. I just think that that's a little odd because I see the donations sitting around the meeting room, including the televisions there, the painting behind me, and we donated a laptop. But one thing I think he was right to criticize on was the town wasn't keeping track of the donations very well. I think that I had thought the fact that I give the donations in a public meeting would be good enough for the public to keep track. But what I did is I created a salary donations file to give to the clerk treasurer, and it'll keep a running total of my donations inside, including copies of my clear checks and my receipts. And so if somebody in the public wants to come in and check on those donations at any time, they can do so. After tonight's donation, I will have donated a total of $3,052.50. And so the total for the 4-year term will be $3,000 a year or $12,000. So I just wanted to clear that up because I think it's important for the public to know what's really going on. I'm going to tonight offer to donate another $750, which is here, and that would, I think it would be good to go to hearing impaired devices for the meeting room. I know when I was out in the audience not long ago, I had a gentleman come up to me, this is when I was just, when I was a taxpayer in the audience, and he was a Morse billing to the ear. He sat for an hour and a half through a meeting that he couldn't hear what was going on in here, and he said, hey, he wanted to come up and speak, and he said, hey, can you let me know when it's time to speak? So he sat here for an hour and a half, couldn't hear, and then came up, and I thought it was kind of sad that we didn't have those hearing devices. So I've talked to Dave Moore. He's going to get an estimate. I don't know if the $750 will cover it, but we'll get estimates, and then once I catch up with my payments and so forth, I get paid quarterly from the town, we will be able to purchase those. So that's what this is. So if you could pass that down. Secondly, I want to let the new president know that I've been working with Beth Copeland, the town attorney, as well. I'm sure that Julie's been looking at it on an updated appointment list. So that list is fairly complete. I think the treasurer's been helping with that list as well. So we can get that to you, or you can obtain that from him. Lastly, real quickly, this is something I've been working on my own, but I thought I'd let you know. There's another grant possibility that would be it's another COVID grant. However, it would be in the realm of poverty relief. I'll put it kind of broadly for now. Could go to a food pantry or other things. It's in the amount of $250,000. It's it's something I'm working on with a grant administrator. So I don't know if I need council approval to do that, or if it's just something I can work on my own. And if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't.
I don't see why we couldn't. I mean,
No,
take all the free money we can get.
Well, as long as it's free, so as long as there's not like a matching provision to it or an obligation from the town.
Right.
I don't think
I don't believe there is, and I will say, I want to be clear with the public, we haven't gotten the grant. It's a possibility that I'm working on it. So we may not get it, but it's worth a shot. Wish the new president good luck, congratulations, and look forward to a good year on the council. I thank the council for the last year of service that I got to be in that role. I think we have a council that doesn't always agree, but I think ultimately it produces better ideas. You saw the culmination of that tonight with the additional appropriations. The council, new ideas came forth last year for employee bonuses, including police and fire. That led to the idea, and it was actually the president's idea, to switch funds around so we could give permanent raises to police and fire, and I think it was a historic move for Mooresville. That came from differing opinions and multiple people speaking and presenting their ideas. And you saw the culmination of that tonight when we did the additional appropriations, so I think that was good for the town. So congratulations, and we'll move on to the new year.
I do have a question. Shane, could you repeat what you said about the record keeping in the clerk's office? I think I didn't hear that completely.
What I'm going to do is when I make a donation, I'll do it in a public meeting, because obviously I think that's where it needs to be done. It's not about me bragging, it's about making sure the public knows what I'm giving, because some people like to make up that you didn't give when you did. But I'll bring you the check like I did tonight. I'll bring you a copy of the check to put in the file. We'll say what it's for, and I'll write, there'll be a description of what it's for in there, and a running total. And then if I buy something, like the painting didn't run through the town books, I just donated the painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I brought a receipt for the painting so people can keep track of what I've spent given to the town.
Okay, I thought I heard you say that we didn't handle the donation in the clerk's office correctly as far as.
No, I
What
didn't
did you
mean to
hear
say
now?
that. Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that.
Karen?
I did.
I took it that you were indicating that there had been mistakes made in the record keeping through the clerk's office?
No, I said I had not provided the receipts to the clerk's office, is what I meant.
Well, this, for the public record, I just want it to be known that any donation or check that is made out to the clerk's office is reconciled against the bank monthly.
That's correct.
Audited by the state board of accounts, and
Yeah, I know.
anything that is not monetary, obviously, there is no way to receipt that in.
There is now, because we have a file where people, if somebody wants to see what I've donated, they can ask for that file and pull a copy of the receipt. You can make them a copy, I don't
I
care.
just want to set the record straight that any cash donation that you made to the town was receipted in and accounted for.
That's right.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up, thank you.
But I will say that that's kind of the attitude that I've gotten since I've been donating. It's not been an exactly friendly attitude. It just hasn't. I mean, I remember when I donated the TVs, I was questioned about, should I set an example? I think giving sets an example for anybody. It was something about setting an example for department heads. So that's how I'm going to choose to keep track of it. It's my donation. I'm donating it to those people there. I'm not donating it to the town council, politicians, party chairman, town employees. It's to the town.
But it is being receipted in accurately, I just want that to be made clear.
When I have written a check, it is. I don't know what the public access request was, but there was no attempt to say that I had donated the payment, even though I've done so in a public record, in a public meeting. At least from the party.
I provided that public record request, and your donations were in the report that was provided.
That's correct, not paying though, correct?
We have no way to receive in a non-monetary donation.
That's correct.
So I didn't know how much the painting cost. That might, like you said yourself, it didn't run through the town.
That's exactly right.
So it didn't appear on a report.
That's exactly
That's
right.
generated from our software.
So I also said in tonight's statement that I had not provided a copy of that receipt to the town. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm remedying that issue. So you're welcome for the gift.
Thank you for that clarification, Shane.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Uh,
It's not your turn yet.
Something like
It's not your turn yet. Or,
Okay.
What is-
Does Greg, do you have anything?
I think
Shane, you mentioned historic. Want to point out some of the guests that were here tonight. Morgan County elected at the council level its first woman chairman and vice chair here. So thank you, Kim Meredith and Vicki Kivett. Thank you for serving. I thought that was great. And also Kelly Collin in the back. So thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for coming up. I know I texted you congratulations, and you said that moving forward we would be more open in Morgan County and kind of break down that Mason-Dixon line.
We appreciate that. Vicki and I were just talking about that this evening. We serve county council at large. And so we will be attending your meetings going forward and showing our presence here.
Yeah,
Our county is changing, and then we're going to work with all of our partners.
I think that's fantastic. Thank you, ladies.
is that who we complained to about the traffic though?
No, it's Dave.
That would be the Martinsville City Mayor.
Maybe Senator Rod Brown.
Dustin, do you have any?
No, Dean's more than welcome.
Dean?
I just had a comment. I had a couple people call the last couple of days about, we're making a change, trying to make a change on the prescription program. And a couple of people had made comments that they couldn't get through. I reached out to them today and said, what's the, I called, and it rang. And apparently people were on vacation at that particular company. They only had 2 people answering phones, and so it was going to voicemail. Should be remedied by the end of the week. Everybody should be back fully staffed. So we should be good. But I thought it was odd because I had had somebody call last week and in like 4 minutes was enrolled. And I had somebody call yesterday and say, I didn't leave a message. I had somebody call today and said, I can't get through. And I'm like, really? And so I tried, I encountered the same thing, so I reached out to them. So it should be all resolved. It's vacation, it's holidays, and everybody should be back. So we still need, Jeff and I talked about it. We need a few more people to reach out. We've got probably 7 or 8 so far.
I've called everybody on the list. There's
Yeah.
a couple I called the clerk. I need to get with you on some names, but
Yeah.
2 of them are no longer employees.
Right. The ones that have been, other than the last 2, everybody else, it's went really smoothly, and they've been very, very willing to make the change. So hopefully we will see the savings in that. It's a couple $100,000, hopefully not even a year. So, but I wanted to let you know, there is an issue, was an issue, hopefully it'll be resolved by the end of the week. Okay.
So the savings are upwards of 200,000 for 2021.
Yeah,
About.
150 to 200,000. Yeah. There's a couple people that are on there now, so who's not on there. But we added some people who want some expensive drugs, so, yeah. So it's a fluctuating number. How about that?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd say 150. Yeah, pretty big. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing. Next meeting date will be Tuesday, January 19th, 21. I need a motion to adjourn. Oh, I thought someone said something.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
2 seconds. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
4-9. That's right.
Took out the confidential information. You won't have the SB ones in it. Shouldn't have done it.